Welcome to the show. Hi, I'm Randy Jeffers, and we are live from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, we have a special show today for you. We have Danny Vegas, Mr. Vegas, right here.
I am live and in the flesh.
Absolutely. Well, welcome to the show, and I know you know these shows very well, because one of the questions that I get asked by a lot of my friends, people that watch our show, is what is this network, WCOBM? What's it all about? And you have all the answers.
I have all the answers that anybody wants to know about World Center of Broadcast Media. I certainly do. So ask away. If there's anybody out there who wants to chime in, chime in.
Absolutely. Well, let's start there.
Okay.
What is WCOBM? What is that network?
Well, World Center of Broadcast Media is a new media platform. It is a live streaming network. In fact, it's the only live streaming network. We have a station in Hollywood. We have other potential stations under contract reviews right now. So that said, we stream live over the internet, and the way we distribute our content and our show hosts distribute their content is through social media platforms. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Hey, you mentioned you have a station in Hollywood.
Yes.
So that's as I understand it, that's on Hollywood and Vine.
Right on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. When people say, "What's the address?" Hollywood and Vine. You don't have to say anything else because it's right on the corner.
So you can actually stand out on the sidewalk and watch it in progress.
Yes, you could watch the show. It's a little bit different setup than here. You could literally stand on Hollywood Boulevard, right next to W.C. Fields' Star. That's right in front of the studio. And you can sit there and you can watch the host in action. Right.
So this show, and all the other shows that are on this network, what sort of reach do they have? How many people watch this network?
Well, that's the interesting part, because what we do is we distribute through social media. Not only do we do so as a network, but the individual hosts are responsible for distributing their content through their social media platforms and their guest social media platforms, and that's how it kind of snowballs. What we do as a network, we have our Facebook page, we have our Twitter page, we have our Google Plus page, we have our Instagram page, and we take some of the segments and we post them and we distribute to a worldwide audience, and we have gotten up to 5 million a month eyes actually on our product and our hosts and their shows.
Wow, fascinating.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's a new concept. It's unlike anything else that's out there.
I would say so, because there's a lot of, certainly like any genre, there's people doing the same thing or trying to do the same thing. But I can honestly say, and I can say so without bragging, that we are a light year or two ahead of what's out there, because we really focus on live streaming to a social media platform. We just don't take a camera, record something, do all the production, and then put it on YouTube, which we use also. YouTube's great. And then that's it. See you next week. We literally are very active in distributing the content, because I'm a marketing guy. That's where I make my living. I don't make my living being a TV guy. I make my living marketing stuff. And marketing is distribution. It's a distribution of a message. So I concentrate fully on taking content and working with the hosts, such as yourself and all the other hosts here, and distributing that content and distributing that product.
That's great. So you have people that watch the show live.
Mm-hmm. We have that aspect,
and it's all day long. People are watching it.
Yes.
And then in addition to that, how many social media platforms is Network on?
Well, they're on the three important ones. Is we do stream live to 3 different social media platforms at one time, and that's a very unique concept. But we stream live to YouTube, which is, as we all know, it's either the first or the second search engine out there. They're always fighting with Google and all that stuff. In fact, Google owns them anyway. So we do that. We stream live to Facebook. So, in fact, right now there's people watching this on Facebook as we do Facebook Live, which I know most people use their phones and they, hey, it's me and I'm at the bowling alley. We literally take a professionally produced show and stream it on Facebook. And then, of course, we stream it live to our website, WCOBM.tv. We're also on Twitter. and we're also on Instagram, Google Plus. The thing is, those particular platforms don't allow us to stream long videos, so they're a minute long. So what you see on those two platforms is something that we have cut out of a show, took it out, and then posted it onto that platform. So I'd say we're on 4 or 5 continuously.
And then the hosts put it on other social media outlets as well?
If they can, sir. I mean,
Sure.
we have some Snapchatters, and we have each
Instagram.
Instagram.
all those,
Each individual host is responsible to take their content and distribute it out through social media. And some are very good at it, some are not so good at it, but everybody's doing something. They're tagging their guests, and their guests are sharing it, and their friends are sharing it, and you can really get someone's content very far out into the social media universe with just a few shares and a few likes. So that's the concept that we have here at WCOBM is just really integrated with social media to distribute the content.
Well, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about
Sure.
is that there's a new division that you're opening up, and that's for home-based business companies.
Yeah, we're very excited about that.
Absolutely, and I know a little bit about that. I've had a little bit of a background in
Yes,
that,
sir, you have.
in that industry, and tell us a little bit, Danny, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Why would let's take a network marketing company?
Yes.
Why would they want to have their own network?
Well, I will tell you why. Because in the days when I was a network marketing guy, our upline, their biggest challenge was communication with the downline. I mean, back in the 90s, it was like you called a number on your phone to get a message from your upline. And you called 10 times a day and to see if there was any good news or anything. Now, an upline, someone who has, accomplished a certain position in their organization, can now use one of these studios to literally form their own channel. Mm-hmm. Their own distribution of information to their downline. And we know in multi-level, communication of the downline is key. If you don't communicate, if you don't keep that vibrant distribution network of reps and the people that they work with, you know what's going to happen? Mm-hmm. It's going to wither. Streaming, live, recording it just like we do here is the perfect storm for someone in a multi-level network marketing situation. Even the company itself is even a better idea. Mm-hmm. Because if I own the company, now I have a tool that my people higher up in the organization can use, uplines can use, to where they can really keep the downline fed full of information, either tips. We know that multi-level, it's like any business. There's ways to do it and there's ways not to do it. So training is so key in multi-level. Mm-hmm. We all know that when it comes to multi-level, training of that downline is one of the most important things that you can do.
Absolutely.
And this is the way to do it. You can hold training seminars. They can speak to you right here live. Your everything's recorded so that you can put it on websites. You can put it on YouTube channels. You can tell to your downline, hey, 2 weeks ago we did a great webinar on answering questions. Go back to the website and watch it. It's timeless.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about some specifics. So if I own a network marketing company,
yes,
and I have reps all around the country, maybe all around the world, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously it makes sense for someone who's in the business mm-hmm. to have their own show, because then they can send people there for the training and all mm-hmm. the things you talked about. But if I'm a company, my perspective is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. But I really need my own network, and that's what's exciting about I think what you've developed is a chance to have your own network that's sort of private labeled to the company.
That's right. What do they call it? Four-walled, white-labeled. It's literally, you could literally have your own network. If your multi-level company is the ultimate vitamin, you can have your ultimate vitamin station.
Yeah.
It could literally to me, it just gives clarity, credibility, and turbocharges your exposure. And like I said, when you bring on those new reps and you have the whole thing, and you have this weapon in your arsenal, I'm a marketing guy.
Sure.
I'm the only marketing guy in Las Vegas that has his own television network. Oh my goodness. I have my own television network and I'm a marketing company. You know how valuable that is to clients. You know, not only do I do all the stuff that everyone else does, I have my own TV station.
Now, let me ask you the big question,
Sure.
because this has to be expensive.
Well, maybe to some, but in the scheme of things, you could have your own, and I know the multi-level people love to use turnkey. We love to use that term, right? Well, you could have your own turnkey station, your turnkey channel, the whole kit and caboodle, everything, for $14,500. I mean, that's not even a used car.
Okay, so let's walk through that now.
Okay.
So for $14,500,
That's
if
right.
I own a network marketing company,
Yes.
and I'd have to be a company really to do this, but
Right.
I have now the ability to put all my key leaders on. They can have their own shows. They could actually be a profit center.
Yeah, they can Skype in if you want. You can do whatever. It's like, hey.
So all the leaders can have their own show.
That's right.
They can brand their own as their leader and,
Right.
and so forth. They bring their own guests on.
Right.
And because of the nature of network marketing, you know, they're not all in one place.
That's right.
So if I'm in the home office, I would have the master setup, I guess we could call it.
Yeah.
And so that $14,500 would provide all the equipment we need.
It's computers, it's screens, it's a table, it's the whole
golden microphone.
golden microphones, the whole green screen. Everything is there, and of course we have the technology to Skype in. So all those leaders can literally from India, England, can have their own show. Skype into the main wherever we're at. If we're in Connecticut, or if we're in Las Vegas, and your board op can literally set it up to where they're right here.
Exactly. Now, one of the key things is producing a show, and I know we have great producers here.
Right.
And Scott, our producer, sitting right here next to us, is doing an incredible job. And behind us now, we're looking at a Las Vegas landscape,
That's right.
and it looks like we're looking out the window
That's
at
right.
the city of Las Vegas.
That's right.
But if I'm a network marketing company, I can put anything in the
Anything.
background.
You know what's interesting? I'll tell you a story. This is an honest to God true story. We did a segment today with the GM of the Plaza Hotel, and we put a black drop of the Plaza Hotel, and we acted like we were at the Plaza Hotel.
Wow.
The show after me was texting me, where do I go to the Plaza Hotel? Because she thought we were actually there.
Yeah.
You can be anywhere. If we wanted to be, hey, we're in France today, we could have France back here. You can literally be anywhere you want to be.
All right, I know we have some network marketing owners out there
Yes.
that are just jumping up and down right now. So
I've got what you need.
Let's walk through that a little
Okay.
bit more. And so for $14,500, I
That's
got
right.
that right.
That's right.
Because that's not a
$14,500.
lot of money. That's a pretty small amount of money.
It's in the scheme of things, it's a great used car.
Now that probably doesn't, maybe barely covers the cost of the equipment.
Yeah, Gene Woods, the gentleman who that is in his department. It's not the cash cow to sell the booths. The way the network works and the way it's exciting for him is to have stations out there.
Right.
Kind of like what's our saying in multi-level? I'd rather have one penny from a million than 1 million from one person, or something like that.
It's a lot of people doing a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people doing a
Adds
lot
up
of
to
it,
a lot.
and it adds up to a lot. And that is kind of the ideology and the philosophy of WCLBM. We'd rather have stations all over the place, all generating revenue, not only for themselves, but for the home world, than going out there trying to make a killing on trying to sell a booth.
So let me let's
Okay.
make sure I understand this really well. I want to see if we can put this in the most simplest of terms. So if I'm a network marketing owner, I have reps all over the country.
Yes.
Now, I have 24 hours a day that I can do shows, and I can fill them all up. My engineer is included, and that can be done remotely, I understand.
Yes.
So
yes.
let's say we're headquartered in New York City.
Yes.
The engineer can be anywhere.
Anywhere.
He's going to remotely engineer, produce the show, make it all happen, right?
Here's the great thing, and here's the cool thing. And this is where most people kind of they still have a hard time figuring out 2017, you don't need a building. You don't need people with rooms with 1,000 TVs and people cutting tape and like, okay, production this, production that, and we'll see you. Come back in a week and we'll have it. You can literally have the content of your show produced, ready to go, literally before you leave the studio. It's on a flash drive and in your pocket.
Wow.
You could literally do that now here. We usually our process of putting shows up on show pages on the website, that usually happens before the sun goes down. When you wake up in the morning and your shows or content are on your page, that's the way our hosts have it here, so that they're ready to use, ready to distribute. No more waiting anymore. You don't have to. You can literally have it on a flash drive before you leave today.
So I have all these shows. I have 24 hours of shows, 7 days a week.
Yep.
Right? That's a lot of shows.
That's a lot of shows.
That's a lot of shows, but I have a lot of reps.
You got a lot of reps.
Thousands of reps, and I could easily fill up that 24 hours because all my reps are going to want to train their people.
That's right.
Right?
That's
they're not
right.
going to want somebody else, so they're going to want to send people to
That's
their
right.
show. So this, as a company owner, this can be a profit center for me.
Yes. Yes.
Because I'm going, as I understand it now, I'm going to pay $14,500 up front.
That's right.
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 And that just covers the cost of the equipment.
Cost
so
of
there's
the
no
equipment,
profit
right.
built into that.
Right.
So the network, your network, where it makes its money is a per show cost.
Right. Every streaming hour that you have, like say if we're going to use 24 hours, there would be a fee to the network for every hour that you stream.
Okay.
So,
All right, so as a company owner now, whatever that amount is, I can add a little to that for my reps.
That's right.
And maybe for special times,
That's
I can adjust them accordingly in the middle of the night. Maybe they're less. Whatever I want to do.
Whatever you want to do. You're just like ABC, CBS. It's like, oh, you got the 10 o'clock at night spot? Yeah, I'm not going to give you the same as the 5 o'clock spot. It's up to you. The main thing is it is your network, and you can, if you want to charge a little bit more, it's block programming. The term that we call it here in this type of world is it's block programming. You are, even as the owner of a network marketing company, selling airtime to one of your better reps in Nebraska. Okay, he's the top guy in Nebraska. I'm going to sell him some airtime on the company's network. You can do that. You can do that. You certainly can.
Well, that brings up another question because if I'm a leader in the industry, my reps are going to be all over the country. I can Skype them, and so on the screen, it will look just like you and I are sitting here next to each other.
That's right. Basically, if I can, usually if we have a screen in front of us, you and I, the Skype person comes in right here, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe you can make that full screen also.
Okay.
So the cool thing is, if you're Mr. Nebraska and you got this great, you got your organization going in Nebraska, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna Skype in. I'm going to Skype in Randy Jeffers on Las Vegas, and he's going to talk to us, and we're going to discuss prospecting tonight. You call in, you're on the show, just like we are now, and it's just beautiful. It's just like a network TV station, but it's yours. And it's distributed live, and of course it's all recorded so that it's timeless, and you can continue to use it over and over.
Now, the beautiful thing about it, as a company owner, I want to sort of talk about from the company owner standpoint, because that's probably who would be utilizing their own. Now, they're going to have their own private network. It's going to be branded to them. Probably would say powered by WCOBM network or something like that.
Something like that. We'd have to talk to Gene what he wants to do, but I know Gene. He's all about making whatever these folks need. He's ready to accommodate them.
Okay, so there's no reason at all why I would ever say no to something like this, because it's so incredible, and it's not going to cost me anything, because the people who do the shows, who are going to be part of all of my reps, they're probably going to pay enough to cover all the any costs that there would be for the network.
Yeah, I would think the only thing you would,
or I could just pay that for them as part of the service, right?
It could be. I mean, it's your studio. Whatever makes sense as far as a business model. You want to hey, I got this studio, and now I've got my top 10 earners, and I'm going to give them slots, and they're going to use to basically prospect and market, because that's all going to basically work its way into the company itself and sell product or whatever the thing is for the multi-level. it's your station, man.
Absolutely.
It's yours.
Well, it sounds like you have the ability to do some amazing things. I know a lot of the TV networks are sort of stuck back in the old days, and then you have. I think Fox News is a really good example of innovative things, where they have movement and they have multiple people coming in from different places and being able to capture all that in a real creative way. And it sounds like you have that ability.
We have all that ability. It's the same thing, and I'm telling you, streaming is the way to go. The companies that are not streaming, I read an article, even NASCAR, as powerful they are, they're losing viewership on TV because of the phone. People just are not going to sit there and watch a race for 4 hours anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the NFL, the same thing. I'm a football nut, but last season I rarely sat and watched a full game from beginning to end. I barely did it.
You know, that's interesting you'd say that. You know, at my house, we don't have cable anymore. My kids will not watch cable.
My
They
kids
get
don't
everything off of the phone, off of the YouTube. My little guy is 7 years old. YouTube, that's what he watches.
Randy, I will tell you, my 2 kids do not watch TV.
Yeah.
They don't watch TV. They don't know what ABC is. They don't know what NBC is. They don't know what CBS
I had my
is.
little guy on a couple weeks ago, so he watches it himself now. He's very proud of being on the show.
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. So I would say if you own a multi-level company, this is a arrow in your quiver that puts you in 2017.
Well, it's an unbelievable no-brainer. I mean, I just, you know, let's talk about this, because one of the things I think that people will say, let's see if we can come up with all the objections that cover them. You know, well, I can do things for free. You know, I can do Skype meetings, and there's a lot of those kinds of things that you can do out there, but it's not the same.
No, I mean, you can do all that stuff, and I would use those as tools. I mean, you know, we talk about Facebook Live. I use Facebook Live to promote the fact that I'm coming on my show. They're great tools. But again, you're literally saying that your Skype tool is better than ABC's Good Morning America.
Right.
It's not, okay? That's what we have here. You have your own Good Morning America.
Right.
Okay, you have your own Wake Up Seattle. Okay, you have your own that. And you can literally use that platform, professionally made, and you can literally say, we have the tools. Instead of spending, you know, the money you do to go on a network thing, I can do the same thing. And with social media distribution, where all the people are, I can distribute that content. Yeah. I mean,
it's so exciting. I'm going to do a little commercial here, because I know people are going to want to know about that, and I'm going to. I don't know if I should do this or not, but I'm going to give out my email address.
Uh-oh.
So if you want to have additional information, I can point you to all the people that have all the information you're ever going to want to know about. Or if you have any specific questions, just email me. My email is Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, at randygeffers.com. And Jeffers is Jeffers. And if you're interested, just have any kind of question, please just reach out and we'll get that information right to you. What other kinds of objections would somebody have, do you think?
Well, I think the biggest problem that we have, it's like anything, people are so lasered in on the old ways, and they try to put you in that model. One of the biggest problems is, like, you know, we do go live, and we post we do all the social media tricks to get our message out live through social media. But the power is, even after the show is done, you are still going on. You are going to be on. This segment will be all over social media, especially for the next week. But people will be finding it months from now. The biggest issue that people have, the biggest thing that they kind of get pigeonholed into trying. People think that this is like, you know, this is just like ABC. You know, people sit down at 9 o'clock in the morning and watch ABC, okay? Well, the power of WCOBM, certainly the live aspect, is powerful. Yeah. But the big power is distribution through social media. Because like your kids, they watch YouTube and Netflix. They watch stuff when they want to. They're not set to this. Oh, the Brady Bunch comes on at 8 o'clock on Friday nights. Do you know where I'm going to be? I'm going to be on the couch at 8 o'clock, because no VCRs.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
So if you don't if now you have the power of infinity. You literally, this content is good. You go on some of the ABC or NBC morning shows. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, Randy. I didn't see you on that show because I was busy taking my kids to the bus stop.
Now you just Google it and pull it up,
Now,
and there it is.
Now it's just, it's...
Now, one of the other things that a lot of companies do is they make videos. And, over the years, I've made a lot of videos. You have a crew
Spent
that
a lot of
comes
money
in.
on that, didn't you?
It is unbelievably expensive.
It costs money to have cameras and people.
And now you have the ability, because every show you do is a video.
That's right.
It's a free video.
It's brand division.
It's there forever.
Infomercials. It's there forever. The cost of doing a professional video.
No
on the
DVDs to
fly.
hand out.
No.
Nothing. You just
No.
tell
on
people
the fly,
where it is.
On the fly. Everything is done now. You don't have to wait. It's just a whole different world. And if I was a multi-level company owner, having this is like having the next best thing in communication and distribution of a message, which in multi-level world, what is it? It's the distribution of a message.
Well, I think there's another part too. Reality TV shows have been so popular, and I think the appeal to that is you're watching people in a pretty much unscripted environment.
That's right.
Hopefully, now there probably is some scripting to some of these shows, but people want to have realness in their life, right? And so we're talking here, and we have no script. We're just talking, and so we could flub up and make mistakes or do. But people kind of like.
That's right.
They want to know that it's real, that what we're talking about. And
That's right.
And that's what I love about this concept, is because it's live, it's real. And it may not be as polished as if we did we could do an hour-long video and pay huge amounts of money for having all that done.
Right.
But we'd sort of have to follow a script, I would
That's
think,
right.
to make it. And people don't like that anymore.
Again, video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
And
realism now
that's
is
right.
killing the old TV
and
stars.
social media is all about the video now. Any social media person will tell you that the videos get more watched, they get more viewed. Now they do tricks where they put they actually put the text where you don't even have to click the sound anymore. I mean, you don't even have to what is they saying? No, I just read what they're saying.
Absolutely.
So all that stuff can be done with some. Once you get the content done, there's applications that can do that with a push of a button. And like I said, if you want a turnkey channel station that you can four-wall your brand, your company, and give your brand clarity, credibility, you need to call us because we are ready. This isn't a prototype situation. This isn't like, we need betas. We are ready. We've been running a couple years, and we have hours and hours and hours of content, and we're ready for you. We're ready for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That concept, four-wall, we live in Las Vegas, so we know what that means, but probably most people don't in the country. But the shows in Las Vegas, some of the greatest shows in the world are here, right?
Right.
And even in other parts of the world where there's great shows. That just means, the four-walling just means that the entertainer or his production company paid for the space.
That's right.
He sold his tickets.
Right.
And all these greats, when you go to the MGM or to Caesar's Palace and you see these big shows, the casinos aren't paying them.
No, they're not.
Their own way.
The casinos just collecting rent.
They're just collecting it. Yeah.
That's rent. And so, so the producers are the ones out there doing the ticket master deals and selling the tickets and doing the advertising. Golly, if they're really good, they can arm wrestle a little bit for the alcohol sales. So, all that. So,
and that's what this network and especially this new MLM division is. It's. I love that concept of four-walling because it really allows you to sell those 24 hours a day that you have, 7 days a week, to those reps that you have, those leaders that have stuck their head up, that are doing great things. And it's a great concept. Amazing.
It is. And we're, I remember, just a few weeks ago, you kind of came up with this thought process and this narrative, and I think this would be really good for the world that I'm very accustomed to. And you're right. Like I said, you could literally have a distribution network.
Well, don't give me any credit. You know that guy you just mentioned, Gene Woods?
Yeah.
That guy must be a genius to come up with this network.
You know, it must be. Sometimes you might think he was crazy, but to give him credit, I mean, I remember the days when we first started this thing, we'd sit down and say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the whole lights would go out. So,
wow.
But we worked through all that, and we've been on the air solidly for well over 2 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, and the way the process is now, it is just, not to take the words out of someone else's mouth, but this is a fine-tuned machine.
Now, another aspect of this, I know on your traditional network that you have, is utilized a lot. But I'm wondering if it could be used with the MLM companies, because you sell advertising, and so that's up to the guests. They sell their own advertising. They get sponsored, right?
That's right.
How does that work?
Well, each individual host, the way they can monetize or the way they can cover costs that they pay the network is they go out and get sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor of the Danny Vegas Live show, like Woods Family Sandwiches, thank you, Gene. Woods Family Sandwiches is a great sandwich shop right here in Las Vegas. Google them. They won all kinds of awards, and they use this network to continuously, through social media, put the word out. And you can do that. And if you're an MLM that's a healthy division, kind of like in the health genre,
sure.
You can have a health food store sponsor your show. Because they would love to come maybe do a segment like this and use that content to promote themselves. It is, like I said, it is incredible. It is 2017, and I say in the marketing talks all the time that with social media, there's nothing that an individual can't do that a huge company can do. In other words, Coca-Cola has a social media division, but they can't do anything more than you can. I mean, they can get people to do it for them, but you can post.
They have a little more money, and they can do a few more things.
But they can't have any more pages than you.
Right.
They can't. They can write text, and you can write text. They can post a picture, you can post a picture. Right. You can do video, they can do video. It is the great equalizer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
Well, are there any last things that you can think of that an MLM company owner would need to know?
Well, I think we've hit it all, and I think we've hit all the buzzwords. Distribution of your message throughout your downline is key. I think anybody who's been in multi-level has experienced the communication through one family, or I don't know what you call it, a leg or whatever, is just rocking.
Yeah.
Because someone's communicating and training and doing well. And then maybe you have a leg that's like, you know what? The communication isn't there, the training isn't there, and it's struggling. And you have to put more time and energy into that side, or whatever format it is. Now you have a tool to where the most experienced rep can use it, and the person that just signed up yesterday can really be part of this family. You can use social medias and groups, and you can use this show, and they can, like I said, we have a online chat room that's based out of social media. They can literally ask questions right then and there, everything.
So as the show's being aired live, the viewers can participate.
Yes. Hey, Mr. Jeffers, I just signed up for your company, and I'm really excited, but I'm having trouble prospecting my warm market. There you go. And of course, I'm sure Randy has an answer for that, and all the other leaders do, and all the companies do, and you can help right here. Yeah. You could really, like I said, when I was in social media, it was all about, well, let me see if my upline left a message on the communication device. We used the phone, and you sat and listened for a message from the upline.
Sure.
And now we don't use phones anymore. We use stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, it is phenomenal. All the at once kind of things that people can do. I mean, just right on the spot.
Right, and you know what? What's so cool is we are always looking to make it better. New stuff, new backgrounds, all this stuff, and that is all available to you.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Danny Vegas, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing, and for those of you watching, we'll see you next week, same time, same station, back to regular programming next week. So, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.